And right off the bat, it says games and demos. All right, welcome back to what will probably be the end of my Doki Doki series. And once again on Twitch, it loves to just change the title of my game to Games Plus Demos. That is not what this is. This is Doki Doki Literature Club Plus! Exclamation point. Is the precise title of this video game. And it changed back again already? There's no shot, right? There's actually no way it did that, right? Oh, geez, dude. I changed the title. I changed the title to the title of the game, man. Oh, I'm in shambles already. Game Doki Doki Literature Club Plus, and then title finishing side stories smile. Haha. Alright, well, we're off to a great start here. Let's go ahead and get into it, shall we? As I close notifications from Prime Gaming, don't forget to drop a like on the video and then head over to Twitch and drop a follow and a free Twitch Prime Gaming subscription to the channel. Get some nice SpongeBob and Patrick emotes. Alright, let's get into it. We are now on balance. And I'm going to be honest, I'm going to make an executive decision. I am calling her Natsuki. Because I looked up pronunciation, and there's pronunciation of Natsuki, and there's pronunciation, if I could speak, of Natsuki. So I'm going to be saying, for the rest of these side stories, Natsuki. And I'm sorry in advance if that bothers anyone watching. I'm just going to say Natsuki. Sorry. Here we go. Perfectly balanced as all things should be. Oh, look at that. Look what the first word just happens to be. Natsuki. Wow. Who would have thought? While Natsuki is messing with the orientation of her manga. I'm going to say manga as well. I think it is actually manga, not manga. Right? Any confirmers in the chat? No? Okay. Correct. Oh, thank you, Shadow. Thank you. Yeah. Now, okay, Shadow, would you say Natsuki or would you say Natsuki? Would you say Sue or no? Natsuki? Okay, cool. Natsuki and her manga. Alright, we got it. We got it covered now, boys. Alright, we can start now finally. Ooh. Let me turn my volume down too, because it's like blaringly loud. I like the music in the side stories too. I wish there had been some other music in the regular game. But obviously these are newer, so. Alright. While Natsuki is messing with the orientation of her manga in the closet shelves, Sayori approaches from behind and pulls her into an embrace. What? Hi. Hi. I forgot how these interactions go sometimes, man. The literature club has been in full swing since Natsuki joined. Including her, the club is now comprised of 4 members. Sayori, Natsuki, Yuri, and Monika. Each club member had received a day in the spotlight to share all of their favorite kinds of literature with each other. See, here's again where I'm just questioning. They did these things in the club before and they never shared poems with each other that they wrote. Maybe we're gonna get an explanation for that. Like maybe they're gonna talk about doing it, and then that's when MC comes into the picture. I don't know. Natsuki was first and shared her passion for manga. Then Sayori shared her love for poetry as well as how she goes about writing it herself. Monika, who has multiple literary interests, decided to focus her day on short stories. And finally, Yuri managed to demonstrate her obsession with fantasy with a little help and encouragement from Sayori. Why they gotta say her obsession, man? After the week was spent on their presentations, Monica decided to give the club members the next week to freely explore each other's literary interests. What do you mean, like sharing some poems? Sayori, having spent most of her time in the club so far with Yuri's fantasy books, is rather excited to begin her journey into Natsuki's manga collection. Yeah, I would also be. I want to read with you today. Tell me which one I should pick. Well, that depends on the kind of stuff you like. I mean, there's like romance, drama, comedy, mystery. I like all of those things. Just not one of Yuri's big old books. Sayori reaches out and pulls a random book from the shelf and inspects the cover. Shouldn't this girl be wearing more clothes? You wouldn't like that one. In a panic, hey, whoa, hey, yo. In a panic, Natsuki snatches the book from Sayori's hand, then replaces it on the shelf in a less conspicuous location. Hey, man, this is a school, bro. You can't be having that in there. What is this? Okay, well, if you really have no preference, then let's just start with something that's easy to get into. A lot of these don't start to get really good until like a few volumes in, and I wouldn't ask someone to make that kind of commitment unless they're already really into manga. I can handle it. I did with Yuri's book at least. That's true. Well, I'm more considerate than that. Although I'm kind of impressed by your attention span if you put that much effort into her books. No, I have the attention span of a donut. I suppose that's pretty small, huh? But I love my friends, and I can do anything if it's for them. Well, okay then. Let's pick you something that even donuts can read. I didn't say I was a donut. I just said I had the attention span of one. Ah, okay. Ah, were you just trying to call me sweet? You're so cute. No, how did you get to that conclusion? And don't call me that. A donut? Cute. Ah, how come? I just don't like it. I don't need a reason. Natsuki yanks a book from the shelf and closes the closet doors. If someone asks you to stop, then you just need to stop. People need to realize that. I'm sorry. I really didn't mean to hurt you. Nah, sorry, it wasn't you. Natsuki shakes her head while pulling a second chair over to her desk. I was talking about something else. I didn't mean to get angry all of a sudden. Natsuki averts her gaze and mumbles. You're like, well, like a nice person, so I wasn't talking about you. I still learned a valuable lesson. Sayori speaks softly as well, feeling shy after receiving the unexpected compliment. Well, anyway, here's the book, so just start it whenever you feel like it. What's it about? Well, it's like a comedy, and there's romance too, obviously. Sayori looks at the title. It's called Love is Another Word for Luck. It's about a girl who keeps accidentally running into the same guys, and then you find out, like, well, you should just read it. But you have to tell me what you think. I can already guess who you're gonna ship yourself with. It would be so funny if I'm right. Ship? I don't get it. Oh, no. Are they... Okay, she's not gonna explain. Thank you. Ah, never mind. Let's not worry about that yet. If I could speak correctly, that'd be great. Just make sure you tell me what you think. Okay. I'll start then. Hey, maybe tomorrow we can do poetry too. Oh, yeah, I guess. Okay, so maybe the thing is that they just didn't really feel comfortable yet doing the poems with each other. Maybe that's why they never got around to it yet. Yo! Okay. I'll still be here. But I guess that is why they never got to the poems yet, until our character got there. Which was weird timing, by the way, I will say. But don't you want to finish this first? Yeah, but we could do both. I mean, unless you don't like poetry, then I won't make you or anything. No, it's just... Well, never mind. We can worry about it tomorrow. Oh no, and then they did worry about it tomorrow and the next day, and the next day, and the next day, and the next day. After the club meeting ends... I'm sorry. Well, I just everything comes back to SpongeBob. I'm so sorry. What is this gear doing, by the way? Hold on. There's a gear on my Twitch settings that has like a green notification. I hate notifications. Okay, it's gone. Anybody sympathize with me on that one? Alright, I've also got like a weird strand of hair going on. Hold on. Alright, sorry. I'm all over the place right now, but... Okay, let's keep going. After the club meeting ends and Natsuki and Yuri leave, Monika strikes up a conversation with Sayori. I see you got Natsuki to share some of her manga with you. I really want to become better friends with her. She's so enthusiastic and expressive. I could just listen to her talk. She's so... I'm not sure if she meant I can't say that to her, or if I just can't say it at all. Say what? Nothing. I am a woman of respect. But Natsuki is a woman of cute. Oh, I said it. No. What's so bad about that? I don't know. But you know, there's one thing I'm kind of worried about. Sometimes I'm afraid that Natsuki actually doesn't like me very much. No way, man. Aw, that's ridiculous. How come you feel that way? Well, I mean, just little signs, like how she only says hi to me after I say hi to her first. And it feels like she only gets excited to talk to me when it's about manga and other stuff she likes. She just seems dismissive a lot. She was like that when I brought up poetry. Yeah, but that doesn't mean she doesn't like you. She's probably just shy, you know? Maybe. My stupid head is just making me worry for no reason. It likes to do that. It's okay. Try not to worry so much. Everything will be great. But you can always talk to me about any concerns that you have. I'm here to help. You're the best. Sayori gives Monika a quick hug. Well, I'm gonna keep trying because I love her and I want to get closer to her. You got this. Oh man. Man, our character really did mess everything up, huh? They were actually like a good close group of friends. Ugh. After the next club meeting starts, Sayori's the last one in as usual. Charting into the room, she sees Natsuki sitting alone by the closet reading what must be manga. Without hesitation, Sayori pulls up a chair and plops herself down right next to Natsuki. Hello there. Hi. What you reading? Can I read it with you? Natsuki pulls the book away from Sayori. You can't just start in the middle. There are spoilers. Besides, what about the one I gave you yesterday? Sorry, I was just so curious. Well, anyway, I've been waiting forever for this volume to come out, and it just came out yesterday, so... Oh, that's exciting. Well, I'll let you read it then. Can I sit next to you, though? Sure. Sayori plops herself down to Natsuki again, then pulls out a blank sheet of paper. Natsuki reads in silence, save for the periodic flutter of a page being released from beneath her thumb. From Sayori's side, only the light tapping noises of her pen meeting the paper can be heard. Okay. Time passes. Sayori's paper is filled with scribbles, and the margins are lined with stick figures. Natsuki lets out a deep sigh and closes her book. Did you finish? No, but it's a good stopping point. My head is swimming. I need a break. Natsuki stretches her arms. Aren't you bored? No, I was writing. Oh, I saw all the stick figures and thought you were just bored. I just draw those when I'm thinking or waiting for inspiration. I made friends with them all. This one is sad because she thinks the night sky is pretty, but she can't look up at the stars in public without everyone thinking she's a weirdo. Man. And this one has problems with his back, but the doctors can't figure out what's wrong with him. Hey, Sayori, stop drawing me, alright? Stop drawing me as a stick figure, please. Ah, what the heck? You're the weirdo. Want to read the poem I'm working on? Sure, I guess. Sayori slides the paper over to Natsuki. As Natsuki reads through the poem, she furrows her eyebrows. She slides the paper back over to Sayori. Don't you ever feel weird just sharing all of your thoughts and feelings like that? I mean, your poems are like really emotional. Is that bad? Me with my back problems. Welcome back. Yeah, that's how I feel too sometimes. My back is well, it's 28 years old. It's getting up there. Gonna have to replace it soon. What's up, Not? Is that bad? Well, no, it was just an observation. I think people can get closer to each other if they find ways of expressing their feelings. Well, Natsuki begins to protest, but she can't find a good way of putting her thoughts into words. Doesn't that depend more on the kinds of friends you have? I don't know. To each their own, but I've never met anyone I'd feel comfortable sharing my poems with. Not that it's you, it's just how I am, so... You write poems? You never told me that. I just thought you wrote other stuff. Yeah, that too, but... You should... I mean, would you ever want to share? Like I said, I don't do that. we don't do that here. But... Can we talk about something else? I'm sorry. It's not your fault. It just makes me uncomfortable. I can't help it. Still, I'm sorry. It's fine. Well, let's move on to something that makes us both happy. I should continue the book you gave me since I didn't get very far yet. Sure. Okay. Over the next few days, Sayori begins each club meeting by approaching Natsuki with unwavering enthusiasm. It's Natsuki! Natsuki! Hi, Natsuki. At the end of one club meeting, Monica, who has become rather invested in Sayori's friendship mission, starts an innocuous conversation with Natsuki while she packs up. It's cool that you've been finding time to spend with Sayori. She was pretty excited for the chance to read manga with you. Yeah, I'm sure you've been enjoying the chance to share it too, right? Yeah, mostly. Natsuki glances over her shoulder but doesn't reply further. What's on your mind? Nothing. I don't talk about people behind their backs. Oh no! Oh no! She doesn't like Sayori, no! Oh. There's no way, man. It's gotta be about somebody else, right? Oh no, dude. Natsuki falls silent, but she just fidgets instead of getting back to what she was doing, as though she wants to say more. It's okay to share your feelings. That's different from talking about someone behind their back. I guess. I just hate when people talk about me behind my back, so I'm better than to do it to others. Monica shares a bright smile. You're really considerate. Thanks, I guess, but it doesn't feel like it. You can trust me. Oh no, dude. It's gotta be about her other friends that they mentioned in the last one, right? Sayori's been so nice, man. No. Natsuki stands in silence for a moment, still fidgeting. I just feel smothered sometimes. Oh, okay. Here's where we're going with this. I got it. I get you. I'm not used to someone being like all over me right after we meet. I mean, it's fun to hang out with her, but I just have no control over the pace. I can't just meet someone and instantly become best friends with them and like share everything about myself. That's not how it works. I just want to chill out sometimes. Oh, I didn't realize that was happening. Monica kinda knew that was happening. That's kinda what happened when they met a little bit. But that's okay. It's fine, why would you have? I know, I just feel bad about it. I know Sayori, so I should have realized. Monica navigates... Oh, imagine if she was listening, bro. Oh, imagine if she was, like, outside the door. Oh, no. Monica navigates through her tinge of guilt, which has surfaced mainly due to her being the only one who previously encouraged Sayori's behavior. Yeah, that's true. Despite not knowing the situation, Monica can't help but feel a little responsible. Do you want me to talk to her about it? No, I wouldn't like that. Well, I could... I don't know. I could, like, divert her into another club activity for you or something? No way. That would be so underhanded and mean. Sorry, I didn't think that one through. Besides, just because I complained about it doesn't mean I'm asking for someone to solve my problems for me. True. I'm sorry. I guess I just instinctively want to try to help solve problems, even if I haven't been invited to. It's fine. I would talk to Sayori about it, but it would make things really weird between us. I feel like it would make her just constantly be afraid that she's bothering me. Oh, she's already afraid of that. That is true. I don't know how to just keep things natural. Well, I think if you do a good job expressing all your feelings, she would totally understand. Sayori really wants to be the best she can be for other people. I think she would actually be happy that you want to improve your friendship with her. Maybe. Ugh, it just feels so dumb. Talking to someone about how to be friends with them. It's just weird and not cool. Monica shrugs. It's the literature club. Then she mumbles through a stifled laugh. It's not the cool club. Again, everything comes back to SpongeBob. The episode where Pearl comes and works at the Krusty Krab, right? And she wants to rename the restaurant, and they're like, the chaotic crab, the cool crab, the king crab, the creepy crab, the killer crab. That's obviously what that made me think of. Okay, moving on. Hey, sorry. That just tickled me for some reason. Look, I know that you're kind of in a tough spot, and that it's hard for you to really express yourself. But you've really demonstrated to me that you're great at self-reflection and critical thinking, even if it doesn't feel like it to you. It is the cool club? Yeah, it's a pretty cool club. I'd hang out in this club. Do some poetry. I love creative writing in high school. It's my cool club. Let's see. I think that's the most important part of being able to navigate through these things. So I believe that you'll find the right thing to do. Well, Natsuki instinctively starts to reject the compliment, but she can't find any excuse to do so. Thanks. Natsuki gathers her things, then she finishes her thought in a mumble. And I'm still glad I joined the club, even if it's weird sometimes. Monica smiles, but Natsuki turns her back and walks away before waiting for a reply. It was an unusual way for Natsuki to express her appreciation, but Monica knew what she meant. It made Monica feel like everything really was going to be okay. Yeah, what could ever possibly go wrong between any of them? Yay, we finish a half. Only 5 more halves, and we got a song. I don't know what song it was, but we're really filling up the playlist here. Unholy Shell. It is the coolest club. Welcome in. We are mowing down these side stories right now. Okay, we're on Balance Part 2. Here we go. Let's just keep it rolling. Lunchtime. Poggers. Even though it's midnight. Sayori, who usually buys her lunch, is making her way to the cafeteria like any other day. The clamor and bustle of the students is drowned by Sayori's impeccable skill of zoning out. However, her imagination is momentarily interrupted by the glimpse of a familiar pink-haired girl. Who could it be? Join my club. Do you want to join my club? I had some cool clubs back in like elementary and junior high. I'll give you GF. Whoa, wait. Hey, whoa. What kind of club is this? glasses back on, actually. I took them off during that first part, but my eyes are starting to zone out. Oh, okay. I can see again, too. It's nice. I don't have any fun emotes right now. Well, I do have a doggy. There you go. Oh, just the Doggy Club. Okay. Yeah, true. That is true. Yeah, you know, if they had just stuck it out through the festival, they would have gotten a bunch of new members, and there would have been multiple other guys that probably would have joined. Man, it's tough out there. Alright. Hey, it's Natsuki. I never run into the other club members around the school. Natsuki. Sayori stands on her tiptoes and waves. Natsuki, who's busy walking and chatting with her friends, doesn't notice Sayori at first. Then she glances over in Sayori's direction. Sayori waves enthusiastically. Oh no. Is she gonna be, like, weirded out and not talk to her here? Uh oh. Tell me why I'm mad hungry. Well, when was the last time you ate? That could have something to do with it. I probably should have gotten something to eat before I started, but I did not. Following her friends, Natsuki quickly ducks around the corner. No! No! Hey. She definitely saw me. No way, man. Oh. Monika is the first to arrive to the club meeting, then Natsuki. Oh no. Sayori, having glanced through the window to see Natsuki already inside, is unable to work up enough courage to enter. Natsuki's been so distant with me. I was stupid to think she ever wanted to be friends. No. She only got excited because she got to share her manga. But aside from that, she doesn't even like me. I should just go home today. Can Yuri rescue the situation, maybe? Maybe she's coming in late. Right after. Hey! It is! I called it. I called that one. I thought maybe Monika would walk out if she saw her, but no, I thought Yuri would be coming in behind. Let's go. You haven't eaten since 2 p.m. Well, that would explain why you're mad hungry. I think that would be the reason. Because that was 10 hours ago. You should probably get something to eat. If you can. If you think you can eat. Alright, Yuri, let's see if we can salvage this. Sorry, but do you plan on going inside? No. Her face, man. Her face with the finger point, little finger touch, man. Why? I'm sulking. Oh. Well, I'm sorry for bothering you. Excuse me. No, don't leave me. Oh, I'll stay here then. I don't want to go in. I'm afraid of bothering Natsuki. Are you hungry, Mad? I'm a little hungry, but I'm not mad though. Yeah, 10 hours ago of not eating, that would do it for me. Anymore, I go like 4 or 5 hours, and I'm like, okay, I gotta eat. I try to do like the small, tiny portion stuff, and it just doesn't work. So, where you eat like 8 times a day or something like that, but super tiny meals or portions. Can't do it. Anyway, I'm afraid of bothering Natsuki. I saw her at lunch today, so I waved and called out to her, but instead of saying hi, she just ran away from me. Really? Not bad. Hey, I'm sorry, that was a joke. Jeez, Yuri, you gotta be helpful here. Come on. I'm hungry, man. I want sushi. I'm gonna get some later. My eating schedule is after right now. Yeah. And you said you open too, so hopefully you can have breakfast at least, something in the morning. Yuri can't be joking around like this. Not bad. It just sounded like something stupid that I would do from anxiety. From anxiety? Well, I just don't like attention being drawn to myself. Oh. Well, that makes sense based on the person you are. But Natsuki isn't shy like that at all. I thought we were friends. But it feels like every day she's just trying to distance herself more instead of get closer. It makes me feel like she was only spending time with me during the club because I was reading manga, but she doesn't actually want to be friends with me. Well, I feel like I'm missing a lot of context here. Was she in the middle of anything when you approached her? No, she was just walking with her friends. With her friends. Yuri pauses for a moment. How do I put this? Think you're gonna get some food before work? Okay, that's good. In like 5 hours. How do I put this? Sayori, you're very fond of your friends, right? You always want to be spending time with them. Of course, I don't think there's anything more important to me. I mean, the best parts of my day are always with my friends. Besides that, I really hate being alone, so... You hate being alone? Sayori nods. We're very different people. Yes, you are. That's true. I cherish my time alone. I wouldn't trade it for anything. So I think... Well, if I was trying to have alone time, and it was being threatened with an interruption, then it just would not make me very happy. I might have to stab somebody. Might have to kill him. I mean, what? Yeah, but that doesn't have to do with Natsuki. She was already with her friends, not trying to be alone or anything. No, I think it's similar. Well, we're all friends in the club, but we have our own lives outside of the club as well. If you think about it, making new friends isn't some casual occurrence that happens on a daily basis. A friendship is an invitation to intertwine your lives together. Where's Yuri coming out with this? What did she say? A friendship is an invitation to intertwine your lives together. But the capacity at which each person is ready to do that might be different. What did we learn today? Yuri's not good at jokes. Yeah, that wasn't really even a joke either, was it? It's just kind of... I don't know. Okay, I'm watching, but I gotta try to fall asleep. Yeah, you're good. You're good. I'll be going for another... I don't know. 2 hours, maybe. I will probably finish the side stories, and then... I think there's maybe more that unlock when you finish the 6. Don't hold me to that, but we'll see what happens. But the capacity at which each person is ready to do that might be different. There are friends who just like to have fun together, and others who talk every day and share every detail of their lives with each other. I think when establishing a friendship, it's important to consider the comfort level of the other person. I mean, we don't really know much about Natsuki's life outside of the club. It could be that she simply needs to make friends at her own pace, rather than jump headfirst into a new commitment. But that means I really was bothering her. I just really wanted to be good friends with her, so I treated her like one. Was I actually hurting her? I don't know, I'm sorry. My insight was really only based on what I understand about my own needs. And Natsuki and I are completely different, so... Why was I so selfish? Even if all that is true, that still means I hurt her. I think I messed up. Yuri, with you, I think I was really careful to understand your needs when I was becoming friends with you, but I wasn't careful at all with Natsuki because she already seemed really social. I just took control of everything instead of looking for the right balance. Now I hurt her and she doesn't want to talk to me. How could I let myself do this? Sayori, I think that, well, there was one time you told me something about the way I saw things in my head being different from reality. It's easy to automatically jump to the worst case scenario, but I think it's more like that Natsuki doesn't harbor any ill feelings towards you. So I think if we were to realistically consider the situation and how it would cause someone to feel, I'm bad at this, I'm sorry. You're a lot better than me at things like comforting and reassuring people. Suddenly Sayori gives Yuri a gentle hug. You're the best, Yuri. I'm sorry for burdening you with this. You're trying so hard for me, you're such a sweetheart. I just... It's not a burden. I enjoy listening to others. And my friends deserve happiness. Sayori beams. Well, I think I'm gonna give Natsuki some space. She should do what she wants. And if she still does want to be friends, then I'll learn her needs. And I'll match her boundaries. Yeah, I'm sure that's what's best. I wish I didn't feel so awful and guilty. It makes me feel desperate, like I need to make it up to her by trying to make her happy. But that's not what she needs. I just have to tell myself that. What up? Oh, Camo, hey! Welcome, Blue Camo. We are on... What are we on? Part 2 of Balance. Mainly about Sayori and Natsuki. I just have to tell myself that. It hurts, but I guess it means I still need to grow. I really want to grow as a person. If it's to be better for my friends, I want that. That's very mature of you, Sayori. I'm mature. Sayori hops up and down on her toes. So, does that mean you'll be going home after all? Sayori shakes her head. I need to be there to show her that I respect her space. I'll just spin the club by myself today. Well, weren't they reading together, though? I guess, I don't think Sayori finished that book with her, did she? Oh. You can go in first. Playing Fort. I played Fort with, Shadow and Foff for just a little bit before I got on here. So I'm probably gonna play this until I get off tonight. But the new season's been okay. It's been kind of rough so far, so I don't know how much we're gonna play. Probably just here and there. I want to play more of Vanguard, but we gotta get a squad together for that too, so at some point I will stream something that's not this or Madden, but I'm still working on it. You can go in first. Okay. You're blocking the door. Oh. Sayori steps aside. By the way, before Yuri enters the club room, Sayori interjects. You said that you and Natsuki are completely different, but I don't really think that's true. I think you're actually really similar in a lot of ways. Yuri smiles and shakes her head. Sayori, that's absurd. You're very silly sometimes. Yuri turns and enters the club room. Why do I feel like Yuri would just like pat Sayori on the head while she's saying that? After a moment, Sayori follows. Drunk Fort and COD tomorrow. Okay, back to sleep. Okay. Just play Rainbow Six Siege. I do have Siege. I don't have it downloaded, but I bought it and I played with Foff. It's probably been like a couple years ago at this point. We played a little bit and it was okay. I kind of liked the way the game plays, but we didn't play it too much. It's interesting. I might give it another shot at some point. I know Human has it now too. You play Siege, yeah? Maybe Human will stream it at some point. If she tries it too, because I know she got it recently. After a moment, Sayori follows. Okay. Is that the end of this one? No. The club room is quiet. When Sayori walks in, Natsuki glances in her direction. Sayori smiles and gives Natsuki a quick wave before sitting down across the room. Yuri's face is already buried in a book. Yo, how did she do it that fast? She just walks in, boom, pulls out a book. Sayori, and wasn't she making tea? Thought she'd be making tea. Oh well. Sayori decides it's best to continue the manga she was reading, so she pulls it out. Aw, bro, is Natsuki gonna walk over to Sayori? Is she gonna feel bad? Oh man. However, it looks like Natsuki isn't reading today. She has a sheet of paper in front of her and is tapping a pen against her desk, staring at it. Oh, wait a minute. Is she drawing like Sayori's drawings? She's like Cordman? I have a feeling Natsuki's gonna walk over to Sayori. Did I say that right? Natsuki is going to walk over to Sayori. Yeah. Ooh, are we writing today? Monika speaks. Hey, Monika for first time in a while. Monika speaks in a quiet voice, unwilling to disturb the peace of the clubroom. She kneels down at Natsuki's desk. Hey. Natsuki pulls the sheet closer to her and covers it with her arms. Sorry, I didn't mean to peek. Whatever. I just wanted to see how everything was going. It's fine. Oh, she feels bad, doesn't she? Oh no. Natsuki replies dismissively. She glances over at Sayori, who is focused on her manga. Monika follows Natsuki's gaze. I think she's mad at me. Oh my gosh. How come? I'm busy right now. Ask me later. Monika falls silent. Natsuki looks back down at her paper. She inches her hand away from the top margin, allowing Monika to see. It says to Sayori. Understanding, Monika smiles. She places a hand on Natsuki's shoulder and whispers softly, I'm proud of you. Natsuki looks away but makes no motion to remove Monika's hand. Monika gives Natsuki's shoulder a quick squeeze before standing back up and pulling away. The end of the club meeting passes. Oh, excuse me. I passed. He's the worst superhero ever, but he just keeps pulling until the dispute is resolved. Except with books. Yuri has already departed. Bro, Yuri is like a machine. She walks in, boom, starts reading book, a couple hours go by, puts away book, boom, she's gone. She's just a well-oiled machine. A well-oiled reading machine. We are going back into 11-hour shifts? Shadow, aren't you still good for a little bit because of your finger injury? You get back just in time for 11-hour shift days, that's fun. Yuri's departed, so has Monika, after checking on Sayori and Natsuki to ensure they wouldn't stay too late. Sayori was determined to finish her manga volume before heading out, since the end was approaching. However, with Natsuki also staying late for an unknown reason, a silent tension hangs in the air. After finishing the volume, Sayori brings it to the closet to put it away. She slides it back onto the shelf while Natsuki watches. Then Natsuki gets up and pulls it back out in order to return it to its proper location. Sorry, I didn't know where it's supposed to go. It's fine. The two fall silent again, avoiding eye contact. They both look like they're about to say something, but neither can break the silence. A moment passes. Well, I'll be on my way. See you tomorrow. Sayori turns away to hide her pained expression, then walks away from the closet. If there was any proof Natsuki no longer wanted to be friends, this was it. No! No! That's not what it is! Defeated, Sayori carries herself out of the club room. No! Follow her! Give her your note! Oh, no way. Once in the hallway, Sayori takes a deep breath and hits her palms against her cheeks to clear her head a little. She followed her, guys. It's gonna be okay. Suddenly, Natsuki's stammering voice calls from behind. Natsuki? Startled, Sayori turns back around to face Natsuki. Oh. Natsuki fidgets and anxiously continues with a shaking voice. Oh no. Oh man. I have a lot of things to say. Me too. But you go first. Natsuki bites her lip and can't stay still. Well, first of all, she cuts herself short, struggling to continue. Trying to force the words out, she stamps her foot and hops up and down a little. I'm sorry for you. I'm sorry for the thing I did at lunch, and I'm sorry for just being kind of mean lately. It's really hard for me to I'm not good with things that make me uncomfortable, especially when it comes to like feelings and stuff. So, face burning, Natsuki climbs up again. Instead of continuing, she simply holds up a sheet of paper for Sayori to take. Oh, she wrote her a poem, man. Oh, the best place in the world. I love my bedroom. It's full of bright colors and soft things. The sunlight shines in and makes everything sparkle. It's the best place in the world. Bro, she said she didn't want to share poems and that she shared her poem with her. Actually gonna cry. Not like almost kind of fake crying, even though it's still emotional. Like actually crying, no. It has all my treasures. All my books, my collections, my memories. All of my dreams were born in this room. It's the best place in the world. It has all my secrets, all my failures, my fears, my feelings. Sometimes it feels so fragile that the door will break at the slightest touch, but it's still the best place in the world. Yeah, I gotta read it all. Always gotta read the poems. But when someone knocks, I get scared. I brace my arms against the loose hinges. Please don't break, don't come in. I'm not ready. It's my best place in the world. The knocking won't stop. I block the door with furniture. An eye peeks through the keyhole and I panic. I'm trapped in the best place in the world. I'm not ready to share my favorite place. I need to clean my secrets and make my bed to hide my nightmares. I need to touch them to put them away, to see them again. I have so much to do and I'm scared. I'm not ready. But it's still my favorite place. I still want to share it. However long it takes, if you wait patiently, I'll eventually open the door and I'll show you the best place in the world. Man. It's a poem. But I thought, well, I sucked it up so that I could work things out with you. So just be happy about it. Please. Sayori smiles deeply from the bottom of her heart. I'm happier than I could express. I feel so awful, but I'm so happy that you would do this for me. I actually realized before the club meeting today that I made a mistake. I got so caught up in the chance to get closer to you that I forgot to think about what you wanted. And that we probably have different ways we like to make friends. About like the friendship stuff, I mean, it's okay. I understand, so you don't have to force yourself to talk about it. Your poem did a good job, so don't force yourself if you're not ready yet, okay? Natsuki nods. You don't have to feel like you did anything wrong. It was my fault and I'm sorry. I wasn't mad at you today or anything like that. I actually felt really guilty and wanted to give you space. I was thinking it's silly that I just approach you all the time. And that I should just let you approach me when you want to. She looks creepy. I think she's just chilling, man. It's tough. Just whatever makes you comfortable. I respect that from now on. Friendships just should always start with these things. I think it's just the style's a little different than normal. But I see what you're saying. With the right balance. Natsuki nods again. Perfectly balanced, as all things should be. One thing about that. Well, I don't want to have to approach you all the time either. I don't want to have... yeah. I just wanted it to be balanced, like you said. Sayori nods. I understand. We'll make sure of that together then. Best friends forever. Best friends forever. Ring. Our friendship ring. It is you. Everything goes back to SpongeBob. Well, anyway. Now that the two of them have found some common ground, Natsuki finds it easier to speak more freely again. I'm not going to be like sharing my poems all the time now or anything like that, but I guess it wouldn't hurt to do once in a while. Only the best ones. So you better like them, because otherwise I might change my mind. BRB, alright. I like anything you do, Natsuki. I was just saying. More importantly, I have to tell you about my new boyfriend. Huh? Oh, from the manga. Wait, I need to guess who it is. Yo, I was very confused there as well. You definitely won't be able to guess. The two walk down the hallway together. Oh my god, we have so much to talk about. Darn, I should have told you to save the last two chapters so I could see your reaction to the big reveal. Aw, you wanted to enjoy it with me. That's so cute. Oh shush. Ehehe. Hey, it did well like the other ones have so far. Let's go. Positivity. I didn't have that one? No, I guess not. Finish the side story balance too. Well, that's a good one. And then Natsuki chilling. Is that all? Yeah. Now what? Was her poem not a picture? Had to have been, right? Do we have all the poems? Just not the secret poems. We have all the poems. But Natsuki's one that she wrote didn't. It's not a picture? Bro, that one. That one made me not want to uninstall Monica, bro. Not gonna lie. Now, why was the poem that Natsuki wrote there not... Why does that not show up in the poem section? That's a bummer. I don't know how I'm gonna get these other secret poems, by the way. I think I have to like play through the whole entire game again multiple times and just hope that they pop up. Alright, we're on to Reflection Part 1 now. Yuri and Monica focus. Restart the game. I guess I'll have to at some point. Alright, Reflection Part 1. When will my reflection show who I am? Inside. Am I bothering you? No, like close the app then open? Oh, how come? Oh, you mean because the poem's not there? Do you think it glitched maybe? Maybe. It shows all, I have all the poems though, so I don't know. To get the poem? I guess I'll check it out after I'm done streaming, because I gotta close the... If I close the app, it'll stop the stream, so... Huh, we'll see. I'll check on it. Am I bothering you? Hmm? No? Okay, just checking. It's hard to tell since you always look so into it when you're reading. It makes me scared to interrupt. Well, it's within my expectations to be interrupted when I read here. It's mainly when I'm by myself that I don't like it. That makes sense. I guess if you're here in the first place, then you're more ready to socialize, even if it takes a little bit of prodding. It's not so bad to be social if I let others do the work. So it can be healthy to put myself in a social environment every now and then. That's usually how I feel. Honestly, that's usually how I feel. I'm just chilling. It's mostly difficult when I don't know anyone, or there are too many people, or everyone is being too silly for me to keep up with. Same. I got some silly friends, you know. Yuri glances across the room at Sayori and Natsuki. Sayori has had her head cocked back and her mouth open, trying to catch pieces of a cookie that Natsuki is lobbing into the air, but the pieces keep bouncing off their face and hitting the floor. that doesn't have much to do with literature. Maybe I should say something. No need, they just ran out of cookies. What a waste. Where is her tea? Why is she not drinking tea anymore? This is the real question. Hard-hitting journalism here. Where is Yuri's tea? They've really become good friends, haven't they? I'm happy. Sayori seems particularly good at making that happen. But the two of them are both on the energetic side, so I suppose it works out well. Don't ask you. Yeah, come to think of it, you and I haven't had many chances to talk one-on-one, have we? Though that may be partially my fault, since I'm supposed to be the one engaging club members. Not at all. I've probably formed a habit of drawing minimal attention to myself. The responsibility is equally on me, at least to display some openness to engage. Well, what about during times like lunch? Do you meet up with friends? I just read. Oh. But I like it that way. You know the chat is late? Yeah. Delayed a little. Yeah, it's pretty close. It used to be a lot worse, actually. It used to be like a 10 to 15 second delay. Sometimes I'm just like reading and I get to it after I finish the sentence too. Not get to it, I don't mean like that, but I finish reading and then glance over. I also am currently adjusting my TV and my laptop so I can so I can not have good posture. It feels nice to be carried off again after a morning of classes. Do you always read fantasy? Oh, not always. Sometimes I read books about religious cults. You never know. I suppose it's all I've read recently, but only because I'm in the middle of the series. There are still 2 more books after this one. I guess those long books suit you well, since you spend so much time reading. Well, fantasy may be my favorite, but after that, I'm more or less indiscriminate to genres. I'll read anything with depth and maturity. Oh yeah? Even like romance? You ever read, Bunnicula? Here? I never knew how to pronounce that. It was a Bunnicula, something like that. It was this evil bunny rabbit. Shout out Scholastic. Man, those book fairs, bro. There's something else. I used to get Ricky Ricotta and the giant robot. And then there was like Captain Underpants, which I didn't like as much. But he was out there still. Anyway. Well, there are a lot of books that have elements of romance in them. Oh, come on, Yuri, you know what I mean. Yeah, fan fiction, Yuri. Do you write it yourself? Do you read it? What's your favorite one? Monica lowers her voice. It's a guilty pleasure of mine, so I won't tell anyone if you do too. maybe more when I was in middle school. I mean, I was really lonely. People were mean to me a lot. No. So I just, who was saying what to you, Yuri? I want to make a list. I just want to talk. I just want to talk to him. I just want to talk to him. So it kind of felt like, please don't make me think about the past. No, sorry, I just got super curious. Excuse me again. You know, we should totally pick out a romance novel to read. That would be so much fun. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Discord? That's a curious spelling, but true. It is good to be high on that particular version of spelling weed. Yes, I agree. We respect women in this community. Really? Even if it was just between us? Try asking someone who has no shame like Natsuki. Ouch. Sorry, I swear I didn't mean that. Hey yo, Yuri, what's going on with your code today? Well, I guess it was my fault for pressing you. I'm like that for things I'm like that for things in my past too. You know, things I feel too embarrassed to re-experience. There's nothing wrong with growing out of things. It happens to everyone. Here, while I'm thinking about it. Oh geez, the #1 gift for if you type in respect women on Discord is Trump. Boy. Alright, we're gonna move on from the GIF. I was looking for a GIF to add to that, but yeah, okay. Anyway. There's nothing wrong with growing out of things. It happens to everyone. For instance, Natsuki's interest in manga reminds me quite a bit of how intense I used to be about my own interests. It makes me think that she'll likely grow out of it too. Hey, were you talking about me? No, we were just... Yes, you were, Yuri. Yes, you were. Don't lie. Don't lie to her. Oh, we were just talking about how our interests have changed over the years. When did you get into manga, Natsuki? Like a couple years ago, I guess. I was already sort of into it before that, but I wasn't really going hard until then. Go hard in the paint. Oh yeah? What was it that inspired you to get more into it? I don't know. I guess, let me think. It was after I discovered a series that I really liked. And then I fell asleep. No. Yeah, I was just like really fed up with a lot of things, and I got super into this one series that I really related to. I guess I had an edgy phase where I just hated everyone around me. I wanted to be by myself. Ha ha ha! Hey, kind of like Yuri. Or Monica. Ah, sorry. That's completely wrong, so... It's still cool that you both really found your thing. They're almost like opposites, but it sounds like they helped you through a lot of hard times. Emo alert. You know it. Wow, what the heck? Is that book even bigger than the last one you were reading? Oh no, they're gonna make you uncomfortable. It's technically slightly longer, but not by very much. How high do you think it would go if you stacked up the whole series? Natsuki estimates by holding her hand high above her head, sizing up an imaginary stack. I should get one of those mangas that's like 50 volumes long so that I can say I've read more than you. Haha. Not that I have the money for that. Please, that would hardly count when your books only have a few words per page. Uh-oh. Oh boy, here we go. Gotta go, see you next time. Alright, Camo. Thanks for hanging out. I know it's late. Or, I guess not late for you, exactly, but all good. Have a good one. Oh, and goodbye, Shadow, from the party. Readjust my TV here. It's 5, yeah. Got you. Oh. I said an hour ago I wasn't gonna get tired while I was streaming, but here we go. Getting tired. I want to finish these 3 side stories, and right now I'm like halfway through the 3 of them, so we're gonna get close. We'll see what happens. I'm gonna download some stuff in rest mode, but I'll be here. Alright, Shadow. Right on. Please, that would hardly count when your books only have a few words per page. Right. I know, I was just joking. I could never actually read books like yours. It's too boring for me. Yuri shoots a glare at Natsuki. It's not boring. Chill, I said for me, not for you. I can have my own opinion. I just think it's too convoluted. Sayori, are those from the floor? Oh, is she eating the cookie pieces off the floor? Mmm. Ah, gross. Also, wash your hands before touching any of my books. But my hands aren't dirty. Just do it. The oils are there even if you can't see them. Fine. Finger point. Finger touch, finger touch. Sayori trots out the door and Natsuki follows. Yuri, you look a little upset. What kind of nerve does she have to call my hobby boring? Well, she did correct herself. Hardly. She was so condescending. I don't mind if she thinks it's not for her. I already understand that it's not for everyone. But she knows well how much these mean to me, so how about just leaving me alone instead of needlessly telling me the things you hate about it? I'm sorry, Yuri. You may be right. This won't be the last time people have strong feelings about what they like and don't like. Especially in a literature club, so I should figure out how to mediate discussions to keep them positive and constructive. For the record, I've always been impressed by the level of creativity in your books, and also your ability to get through them so quickly. Thank you. Okay, well, this is something that I'll have to think about and revisit. I'm sure I can help Natsuki find some common ground with you. Common ground isn't necessary, I just wish to be respected. We respect women in this literature club. That then, either way, I'll do my best. I'm skeptical. Bleh, what? I'm skeptical, sorry. When it comes to Natsuki. I don't know what I was trying to say. Skeptical, something. I trust you, Monica, but I'm skeptical. She trusts Monica. She trusts her. Okay, everyone. We have to yawn. We have a special club meeting today. As you know, the Literature Club is a place where we get to share things that we're really passionate about. But that also means we should be mindful of how we respond to each other's feelings. I think we have a chance to turn our differences into positive energy for each other. Aren't you being a little dramatic about this? This is important to me. Well, sorry, I just feel like I'm being accused of or something. No, I'm not accusing anyone of anything. I'm sorry if it came off that way. But our conversation yesterday made me reflect on the power of language, and I thought it would be a good topic for the Literature Club, don't you think? I'm sure we're going to have differences in opinions a lot. Any confirmers in chat? I guess it's fine. I don't know. Let's see. Keep a positive atmosphere in the club. Alright. If you say so, sure. The cool thing about language is that it gives us a lot of different ways to express the same idea or emotion. We have a lot of control over how we want the other person to feel when receiving our thought. This goes for poetry, narratives, casual conversation, basically anything. For example, Sayori, what's your favorite food? She's gonna say cookies. I have them organized by category. Should I start with snacks? Or do you mean full meals? Should I include breakfast? Oh, geez. Okay, how about your favorite fruit? That's easy. Cherries. Really? I always thought cherries tasted nasty. What? Cherries are delicious. Well, that's a pretty strong reaction. Well, I just don't understand how somebody could think cherries are nasty. How does it make you feel? I don't know. Sad? Defensive, maybe? Yeah, I got defensive. See, the reason you had such a strong reaction wasn't just because I don't like cherries. It's because you felt like your opinion was under attack. But that's weird, right? Something like taste is completely subjective. But when I say something like, I think cherries taste nasty, I'm using objective language. I'm challenging Sayori's reality that cherries are delicious with my own, which is that cherries are nasty. Wait, hold on. How is that objective when you just said it was only your own opinion? It has to do with the way our brains interpret the words. You're talking about the reality of the cherries, not your feelings about them. Like Sayori. Let's rewind for a second and pretend I didn't tell you that I think cherries are nasty. Good. So what if instead of that I said like, I've tried cherries and they're not for me. It's not the kind of flavor I enjoy. Well, that's fine. As long as you don't call them nasty. Nasty is a nasty word. Okay, so cherries was kind of a weird example, but I think it gets the point across. This time around, instead of talking about the cherries, I just talked about my feelings, and Sayori didn't get defensive. So, okay, yeah, this is kind of 100% extremely pointed at Natsuki in this in this conversation. Oh no. So instead of clashing with each other, it's like we received an invitation to talk about our differences. Yuri, you don't need to take notes. I'm not going to quiz you or something. I know that. I was just... sorry, I didn't mean to call you out. You can do whatever you'd like. But does anyone have any thoughts so far? Yeah, I just feel like I shouldn't have to put all of my language through a filter just to protect someone's feelings. Well, you don't have to. The choice is yours on how you want to come across to other people. I'm only suggesting it as a tool to help turn your differences into a positive experience rather than an argument. Right, Sayori? Whatever you say, cherry hater. Oh, come on. Sayori, I actually like cherries. I was just saying that to help demonstrate. What the heck? I've been duped. Duped! We've been Speckledorfed. That's not even a word, and I agree with you. We killed a health inspector, poisoned him, and then buried his body, and then stuck him in the freezer. You mean in here? Sorry. It all comes back to SpongeBob. Everything. It always does. It always will. I've been duped. I'm sorry, Sayori. I'll make it up to you later. How about a cherry sundae? You're welcome to dupe me anytime, my beloved president. Man. Buying your people's loyalty, how deplorable. Well, like you would turn out a free sundae, Yuri. You were certainly a fan of those cupcakes I brought in the other week. Oh, she's already been bringing in cupcakes? That was, I mean... I was reading and not keeping track of them. Oh, that's enough. We're getting off topic. So, now that we have the gist of it, how about we try it with something more relevant to the club? Like manga, right? Let's try to have a productive discussion about our differences in opinion. Yuri, do you want to start? Well, I'd rather not, no. Aw, how come? Well, because I don't see how anything productive can come from that. It's just going to start a fight. No, it'll be fine. That's why I'm here to moderate. The mod check? Can I have a mod check? Let's just have a calm and rational discussion. Yeah, give me a little more credit. I'm not a child. You don't have to coddle my feelings. I always think it's more respectable to just speak your mind. Respectable? Yuri's expression changes at the word. As Monica recalls, being respected was the crux of the matter for Yuri. Well, the point of the exercise isn't exactly like, it's fine. I have nothing against anyone personally. You're entitled to enjoy whatever it is you like. I just prefer more depth and nuance in my reading material. I look for stories that are more that are imaginative and sophisticated beyond the surface level. Oh, well, that's just a misunderstanding then. I thought you were going to say that manga's for children or something, like I don't hear enough of that. But there's plenty of deep manga. I'm not clueless about manga. I've read my own fair share when I was younger. What? Are you serious? How come you never told me? Because I'm past that point in my life, and I really prefer not to revisit it. Jeez. I prefer more mature things now. Excuse me? Monica, intervene! Here we go. Okay, hold on. Can I jump in here? Let's try to keep things subjective. Because if you imply that manga is immature, then aren't you implying that someone is immature for being into it? Oh no. They're all gonna shut down now. Maybe it's immature to judge people for having different tastes than you. Natsuki. Nobody's immature. I've read Natsuki's manga and Yuri's fantasy, and I love them both in their own way. Okay. It's great that you like it, but I still find it boring. Boring isn't subjective. Okay, it bores me. That's subjective. But, I mean, the thing about... This is ridiculous. Do you see why I don't want to participate in this? I knew it was just going to make people upset. I'm not upset. Like I said, I don't care what other people think. But I always got the impression that you secretly looked down upon me, so I'm glad my suspicions were confirmed. That's not true at all. You're making assumptions. You can't blame me for getting defensive when nobody ever has the least bit of respect for the things that I'm into. The only thing I look down upon is when people make fun of me for just being myself and trying to mind my own business. What? Have you looked in a mirror? Tell me again about respect after calling all my interest immature. You can't... Please stop. Please. You don't mean the things you're saying right now. Let's just be friends. No, I didn't mean for this to happen. Well, it did. So please don't invite yourself to try and solve other people's problems next time, okay? Yo, man. Yuri's piercing words send the clubroom to a choked silence as she gathers her things. She leaves. Hey, yo. Holy crap. I've never heard her sound like that before. She must be so pissed. Well, you weren't very nice either, so I was just saying, how did this happen? It's my fault. Yuri wasn't wrong. I shouldn't have tried to moderate a conflict when I know how bad I am at dealing with conflicts. It was a really stupid thing for me to do. No way. Man. Oh, okay. It's nobody's fault, and it wasn't stupid. Everyone in the club is a nice person. Nobody would have expected this. But I guess we're sensitive about the things we really love. Honestly, she kind of brought it upon herself. Like I said, I don't care if you're not into manga, but if you actually look down on other people for it, that's kind of the point I was trying to make in the first place. It's not about sugarcoating things, it's about just recognizing and understanding our differences. Okay, but here's the thing about that. Yuri actually looks down on me. It has nothing to do with her word choice or anything like that. So I see what you were trying to do, but I really think that the problem here is her, not just like the way we talk to each other, right? I mean, Yuri isn't like that. She's a lot sweeter than you're giving her credit for. I'm sure she'll be reflecting on this. I actually think everyone should. It'll be fine. I'll figure something out. Wow. I'm just like saying that instinctively. I'm just setting myself up to cause more problems. This wasn't your fault, Monica. You don't have to beat yourself up over it. If you ask me, it's good that the truth finally came out. Because I can just move on now. But, it's fine, I promise. Let's just get our mind off this, okay? In fact, it's a good opportunity to read some manga without having to worry about feeding Yuri's superiority complex. Don't be mean. I'll talk or read manga or whatever you want, but don't be mean to my friends, okay? Sorry. I'm just bitter. Everything will be okay. I mean, I don't have the answers, but I at least know that we're all good people and don't want to hurt each other. This will be a learning experience. Monica says that, but her uneasiness is given away by how much she has to force the reassuring tone in her voice. This was bound to happen eventually. Natsuki and Yuri have always engaged with each other the least out of anyone, and this is the reason. As Sayori and Natsuki proceed to distract themselves with manga, Monica sighs to herself, unable to shake her worried thoughts. Will the club really have to just come to terms with the fact that some members will be incompatible with each other? Monica desperately doesn't want to admit that, and she knows Sayori doesn't either. But for once, a solution doesn't seem to be in sight. Well, that was just great. that was wonderful. Gee whiz, man. We got mail. Ethics. Simply put, it's not our job to arbitrarily decide upon some code of ethics just because we're the first ones to do this, to our knowledge. That's the government's job to figure out, long after we've made enough headway for it to no longer apply to us. It's fundamentally flawed to apply ethical reasoning to this anyway, because humanity's code of ethics is based upon nothing more than our knowledge and understanding of life forms similar to ourselves. That was the longest sentence I've ever read in my life. We don't have ethics for killing bacteria or plants, only for the creatures that we can conceivably project our emotions onto. The humans in our VMs operate completely differently from us on a fundamental level, and therefore should not be taken any more seriously than a machine that's programmed to print "I feel sad." We're engineers, not philosophers. Okay, Paul Leminer. Very cool. Totally get it. I totally get it, bruh. How come this one has the time but not a date? I guess the date of this is always December 9th. I guess that's why it says 1206. Okay, well, you know, that's another one. That's another half down, right? Reflection part 2. We're halfway done with these. An hour and 24 minutes in. Alright. A new day arrives. Sayori arrives at the club room earlier than usual. That is, not late. As she enters, it appears to be empty still. So she sits down at a desk and pulls out a sheet of paper, primed to jot down her thoughts. Sayori has made a habit of scribbling her thoughts and feelings onto paper whenever possible, as it tends to serve as her best inspiration for poetry. My heart feels vacant because a ship sailed away. Yo! Yeah! Natsuki pokes her head out from behind the closet door. Ah, sorry, didn't mean to scare you. But it would have been a lot more awkward if I didn't say anything. She goes, yo. Yo! I doubt you want me listening in on your poetry thing. Yeah. Thanks for realizing that. Should I let you finish that up then? Oh, no, it wasn't. I mean, I just do it whenever it's convenient. You're not interrupting. Where's Monica, by the way? Oh, she's out in the hallway. Huh? Why? Well, she's yelling at Yuri right now. Just in case she runs into Yuri. Sometimes Yuri's too nervous to come into the club room by herself, so... Oh. Jeez. Does Yuri really let things bother her for that long? She can't control her feelings. For some people, it's really hard to cope when you get a bad thought in your head. Maybe you can distract yourself for a little while, but as soon as it's just you and your thoughts again, it comes back. I just want us to have a normal club meeting. It's a lot easier to pretend like it never happened if we all just ignore it and move on. I don't want to be bothered by this. It's so stupid. Her opinion of me doesn't matter anyway. Besides, it makes me feel really guilty, and I hate that too. It's okay to have feelings. It doesn't make you weak. Let's figure this out together. Fine. Only because you're good at this stuff. Let's try to come up with a happy scene. Maybe that will help us understand where your bad feelings are coming from. Well, I was happy the way things were before we had to have that conversation yesterday. What part of the conversation made you upset? Was it Yuri being mean about the manga? Maybe. I doubt it though. Because my friends and other people make fun of manga all the time, but I just brush it off and ignore them. But something about it really got to me this time, and I hate that I'm letting that happen. Is it because it came from Yuri? No, why would that matter? I mean, well, maybe. I hate that she thinks she's so much better than me, just because she likes to pretend to be all sophisticated. Yeah, that's what it is. At least other people decide that they don't like me, or manga, or whatever. But Yuri acts like she's too good to even give it a chance. I'm sorry. Everyone deserves a chance. Yeah, exactly. Would you give Yuri's books a chance? Ha, after this? Obviously not. What about before this? Well, I would until I got bored, which wouldn't take very long. But if you actually keep an open mind, then it's not hard to realize that a story can be deep and meaningful without being needlessly complicated. I see. But, you know, I like Yuri's books. Yeah, but you like manga more, right? Sayori shakes her head. I like them both. I like them in different ways, but I like them both. I mean, the manga, it's really honest and fun and easy to just let go with. And the fantasy has a lot to interpret and uncover, and it's really rewarding to have some good quiet time together with it. But the most important thing is that both the manga and the fantasy are true to themselves. So I love them both. And I think there's room for both of them to be in the same club together. And I just feel like maybe they have more in common than you would think. Here we go. How do you get along with everyone so well? I always get into fights with people. Like first it was with Monica when I was new to the club. And then it was you, and now it's Yuri. And I'm always like, oh, that person is being such a jerk, and if they just realize that, then we could at least get along. But nobody else has this problem. Doubt. I just keep running away from the reality that everybody's just a jerk to me because nobody likes me. And I don't know why, and I don't know what to do about it. I don't know what's wrong with me. I hate it. Natsuki. No way. Man, I'm almost like I'm tired or something. Sheesh. Sayori puts a comforting hand on Natsuki's shoulder. You're a wonderful person. You deserve to be loved as much as everyone else. Everyone has different ways they like to communicate, you know? And sometimes that makes it harder for us to understand each other. I think that sometimes we get lucky and we make friends who are really good at the same kinds of communication, and it feels like you magically connect with them. But other times, even if both people are really nice, it's easy for them to misunderstand each other, or to get the communication wrong. Maybe Yuri's just mean. It's something that Yuri struggles a lot with too. I know, that's not it. Right? It can be really hard. It takes a lot of, reflection and self-awareness. And vulnerability. I'm bad at that one. Vulnerability. I always have to be the strongest. What do you mean? Tell me about that part of you. Well, here we go again. Just shoved the 5-hour energy into my veins. Jeez. I only need like 2 hours though. Come on, let's go. It sounds stupid, but I'm really used to people being mean to me. Like my friends, and I guess my dad, like when I don't get good grades, or even stupid things like if my room isn't clean. So what am I gonna do? Cry about it? If I let myself get upset, then it's just letting them win. I'm better than that. I'm better than all of them. So things always have to be everyone else's fault. It feels like if something goes wrong... Oh boy. I don't know if I'm going to be able to finish. It feels like if something goes wrong and there's even a tiny hint that it might be my fault, then I just get really angry and I find ways to blame everyone else instead. Do you see yourself as better than Yuri? If I said that, then I would just sound really full of myself. No. Our thoughts and our feelings are two different things. Even if we don't like our feelings, we have to understand them if we want to learn more about ourselves, themselves. That's a part of vulnerability, you know? Accepting that we have feelings that we don't like. I hate that. Oh boy, I'm gonna have to take a break, go do something for like 5 minutes, come back, I think. My feelings make me a bad person. Because my feelings just want me to tell me that I'm so much better than her. That she's a judgmental know-it-all who's stuck in her edgy phase, and that I'm just way above that garbage. But I'm terrible for feeling that way. You're not terrible. You are not your feelings. But you are not your feelings. Say that to yourself, out loud. Fine. I am not my feelings. The way that I like to picture it is that those feelings are like your roommate. Okay, hold on. I need a break. I need to stand up. I'll be right back. I'm not falling asleep. It's not gonna happen. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm here. I'm sorry. I'm going to... The story is interesting, it's just late and I've been tired this week, so I apologize for falling asleep, but... Not falling asleep, but getting tired. yawning a lot. I got some yogurt, some sustenance, the nutrients. So hopefully that'll appease me for a bit, you know? But anyway. You live in the same house and you gotta see each other every day. And even if you can ignore each other most of the time, you're gonna run into each other every now and then. And it's gonna make you feel like poop. That's what was happening in Fortnite tonight. We were getting pooped on. So, the other option is to get to know each other. You can communicate and learn from each other, and maybe even help each other change for the better. Does that help you understand? No. How do you know so much about this stuff? I just have a roommate that can be really hard to get along with. Aww. Called depression. Depression? But you're like the happiest person I know. I am not my feelings. Deep. I want to be a good person like you. Oh, you little sweetheart. We're all good people. You and Yuri and Monica. And I think Yuri will eventually learn that about you. Natsuki remains silent, feeling a little overwhelmed. Oh no. Despite Sayori's kind reassurance, a complicated mixture of pain and sadness seems to fill her, as though flowing from a wound inside her. Was it a result of her vulnerability? No, it wasn't as though she was inflicted a wound after becoming vulnerable. It was as though she began to rediscover an old wound, one that cannot simply be bandaged and left alone any longer. Is this a new place? This is a new place. Let's go. Staircase and vending machine. Let's go. Yuri, what are you doing all the way over here? I was looking for you. Please don't yell at me. No, I'm not going to yell at you. I just wanted to say that I'm sorry about what happened yesterday. It was unfair for me to put everyone on the spot like that. Next time I won't just try to jump in and solve everyone's problems. I guess it's a bad habit of mine. You're not mad at me? I thought you were the one mad at me. I was so awful yesterday. Yuri curls up, recalling the details of the argument. I can't even have a normal conversation without saying something wrong and making everyone upset. Hold on, that's not what happened at all. Let's talk about this, okay? Yuri pauses for a second, then manages a nod. Monica takes a seat next to her on the staircase. I'm having a lot of negative thought patterns and I can't get away from them. What kinds of negative thought patterns? Like, everyone hates me. Especially Natsuki. Oh, that's terrible. I don't think Natsuki hates you. How do you know? Well, because Monica thinks back to the time that she herself found herself in an altercation with Natsuki, and how a display of maturity from Monica was enough for Natsuki to reevaluate her own feelings as well. I think Natsuki is just naturally defensive. I think she acts mean when she feels the need to protect herself. But you know, she's really not a bad person. In fact, I think she can be really thoughtful and considerate. She just, well, I guess the way it works is that she wants to receive some degree of kindness first before she feels comfortable returning it. Oh. But that means the burden is on me. And I don't know how to say things that make people like me. Every time I open my mouth, Yuri shakes her head at herself and tugs at her hair. It's okay, Yuri. You don't need to beat yourself up. Don't pull your hair out, bro. I think anyone would like you if they had the chance to get to know you. Well, Unfortunately, the opposite is true. That's why I'm not talkative anymore in the first place. Because everyone used to think I was weird and talk about me behind my back. That's just what happens when I draw attention to myself. Natsuki even said she found it more respectable when people speak their mind, so I did, and then she hated me anyway. That was enough to confirm my fears. But Sayori and I like you, and we've gotten to know you a lot by now, right? What do you mean, Yuri doesn't seem to have a response. Uh-oh. Hey, what do you think of Natsuki? I don't think about her. Hey, oh, hey, wait a minute. That's not what I meant, really. I just... What do you mean, What do the ums mean? I was just wondering if you had an opinion of her. I do. She does. What is it? Natsuki seems to bring out the worst in me, and I feel really ashamed of it. I like to think of myself as a fairly sophisticated person. So for someone to just treat me like I'm inferior despite my tastes, that's just the worst kind of insult coming from someone like her. And it makes me think bad things about her. I think they've kind of been doing this back and forth thing where they think the other one looks down on them, and so they naturally say that, which kind of confirms it to the other one, and then they just kind of attack each other and over. That seems like the cycle, honestly. Unfortunately. But everyone else seems to like her, so the only explanation is that it's me who's doing something wrong again. Yeah, that's exactly what Natsuki said too, basically. They're just in the cycle now where they keep attacking each other and then blame themselves afterwards. And my feelings about her are wrong, and I'm wrong to get upset over something so childish and inconsequential. No, Yuri, feelings are never wrong. Well, they're not right. That's the thing. Feelings are never right or wrong, you know? They're just a state of being that we don't always have control over. But that doesn't mean they have to control us. I feel like that's something I learned around when I first started the club. We can hate ourselves for feeling a certain way about things, or we can, just acknowledge that they exist and try to understand them better. I could never be mad at you just for feeling a certain way. It's about how you handle them. And I think working through feelings is a great opportunity for teamwork. Yuri wears a dejected expression. You make it sound so easy. You're so mature. And so good with people. I feel like such a child in comparison. Teach me, sensei. Oh, Yuri. I'm far from perfect. But these are learned skills. They didn't come naturally to me either. It's really hard to reflect on yourself and separate your feelings from your thoughts. I just want to be a good person. This is like the exact same conversation, man. Even in the last story where Sayori told Yuri that she and Natsuki are more similar than you think, they're having the exact same conversation. They feel exactly the same way. Ugh. I just want to be a good person. Well, I think it takes a good person to get this far. That's not good enough. I want to be able to communicate it to her. Communicate what? How I feel. How it makes me feel frustrated and upset when she's so negative and dismissive of the things that mean so much to me. And how it reminds me of me. Because I know what it's like to feel misunderstood and angry at everyone. I know that telling yourself you're better than everyone else is just a defense mechanism. We're just people. We're fragile and unstable. But I'm just tired of that getting in the way. I can't stand it when the peace is disturbed like this. Yeah, you can't focus on your reading when the peace is disturbed, right? Because the Literature Club should be happy for everyone. Monica looks at Yuri in adoration. I feel like Sayori must be rubbing off on me, because I really want to hug you now. Sorry. I didn't mean to make you uncomfortable. No, I mean, well, if you wanted to, then I wouldn't really mind, so... Monica pulls Yuri into a short embrace. You're so gentle, and I love when you communicate your feelings. I feel lucky to get to see that side of you. And I'm sure Natsuki will too. I'm going to write her a letter. They're the same person, bro. This is exactly what Natsuki did for Sayori. They're having the exact same conversations right now. Oh, a letter? What a great idea. Just because I'm not good at talking, especially under pressure. I always let my feelings get the best of me, and I forget to say all the important things, and I say things I don't mean. Well, I think a letter would be wonderful. Such a nice way to communicate. Yuri's face hardens with determination. People don't naturally gravitate towards me like they do for you and Sayori. My personality just isn't suited for that. And I wouldn't want it to be. But something I've learned is that friendships don't always just magically appear out of thin air. For instance, I never would have seen myself making friends with someone like Sayori. We're opposite in a lot of ways. But I'm friends with her because she puts so much effort into understanding me so that we can get along. I think it was the same with you. You both gave me a lot of time and patience. And I wonder if she feels the same way. Natsuki? Yuri nods. I always thought that if I wanted to make more friends, I had to be somebody that I'm not. That there's a type of person or a magical formula I have to follow in order to make someone like me. The formula, SpongeBob. I'm sorry, I'm gonna finish my yogurt now. Alright. The formula. That's just like me to think that. Always so occupied with myself that I fail to understand other people. Yuri shakes her head. Friendship happens when you think about the other person. When you offer time and effort to understand them and respect them. And trust that they also want to be a good person. That's what I learned through my observations in the Literature Club. Observations? Monica is caught by surprise. Yuri has always kept to herself so much that it's so unusual to hear her suddenly talking about the club like this. But Yuri gently smiles to herself. You always let me listen to your thoughts about people. Sayori too. And it makes me happy because I learn a lot of things. That's so sweet. I had no idea it meant that much to you. Monica never thought much of it, but in the past weeks, Yuri always seemed to be especially attentive when it came to the problems and concerns of others. Always wanting to listen and learn more about her friends in the club. That's true. She was helping Sayori in the last one. It's true. Sayori and Monica are naturally more comfortable with other people and can more easily work through situations or conflict. But that doesn't make them better people. Everyone has strengths and weaknesses and the capacity to improve. And the first step towards improving oneself is reflection and self-awareness. It's something that Yuri never gave herself enough credit for, but that Monica can recognize as an incredible trait. And with that, her confidence in the club is restored. Yay! Oh, nope, not the end. A very shy girl with long pretty hair is wandering the bustling lunchtime hallways, her fists pressed into her collarbone. Is this a new person, or is this Yuri? When she finds the Literature Club president's classroom, she stands at the door, glancing all around her before peering inside. Monica is sitting and chatting with a group of unknown friends. Yeah, as expected, this was a bad idea after all. Suddenly Monica glances towards the door, making the girl panic and duck out of sight. Who could it be? Before she can regain composure and decide for sure to leave, the classroom door gently opens. Yuri, what a surprise to see you during lunchtime. During lunch? Did I read that weird? What a surprise to see you during lunch. I don't know why I had time. Yuri squeaks a response. Please help me. What? Is everything okay? Yuri shakes her head. I don't know how to write letters. Oh, thank goodness. I thought there was some kind of emergency. Monica briefly glances over her shoulder at her other friends. Do you want some help? We can go find an empty classroom or something. Is that okay? I feel bad taking you away from your friends. It's totally fine, I promise. We weren't really doing anything. One sec. Monica trots back into the classroom, says something like, I gotta go, to her friends, then grabs a pen off her desk before returning to Yuri. Okay, let's find somewhere quiet. Yuri nods and follows Monica as the two of them set off. She left her friends to go help Yuri. How are you today? Huh? Me? Well, yes. Oh. Oh gosh, sorry. I was just caught off guard. I'm doing well today. Just tired. I never seem to get enough sleep during the week. How come? Oh, I don't know. I think I'm just easily distracted. I get really sucked into things and start neglecting the time. Me too. I do that too. Ahaha. Hey, this classroom is empty. Let's go in here. After peering inside, Monica opens a classroom door and the two of them enter. Yuri's moment of relaxation ends. She watches as Monica pulls two chairs up to the same desk, then obeys as Monica beckons her to take a seat. She stares down at the empty desk. You nervous? I don't want to do this. We don't have to. We can come up with something else. Yuri shakes her head. It's my chance to do something good. I need to take initiative. Gosh, you must be really determined. I know how hard it is to step out of your comfort zone. I'll be sure to encourage you. Yuri pushes through her anxiety and grabs a handful of lined paper from her notebook. Then she picks up her pen. What you doing with that pen, Yuri? The CG. There it is. Monica's pen's got a little heart on it. Hey, you're left-handed. That's neat. Ah, yeah. Now I don't have to worry about bumping your arm. Monica playfully rubs her shoulder against Yuri's. Ah, sorry. I'm just being silly, I guess. What a silly person there. Anyway, how about we start by listing the different things you want to say to her? Yuri thinks. I feel embarrassed all of a sudden. Oh, it's okay. How about some of the things you said to me yesterday? But, never mind. I guess I'll try. Yuri thinks for a moment longer, her tension evident. Oh boy. Well, I got about 5 good minutes of non-interrupted by yawn reading. I don't know if I'm going to get through this last one. I might have to stop after this one. Then she writes the word reflection. This is about my reflection on our behavior. The key question is why we act like this towards each other. Or no, wait, is this the... I don't remember which one this is, to be honest. The key question is why we act like this towards each other, but have been able to separately be friends with Sayori and Monica. That's me! Yes, it is. So, Yuri thinks, I've been able to befriend the two of you because you've taken the time to understand my needs and respect my interests. The same goes for Natsuki, too. We started off as pretty hostile to each other because I was so worried about getting what I wanted, but she just wanted to be respected more than anything else. Once I stopped making it all about me, she was able to do the same. I want to do that too. So what kinds of things do you want to do for her? I want to do the same things for her that I like to receive. I like it when people respond positively to the things I talk about and not just brush me off. I like it when my feelings are taken seriously. And I like when you and Sayori trust that I want to be a good person, even when I'm not doing a good job at it. Let's write those things down. Okay, here you write some things down. I think the most important thing to remember here is that Natsuki is feeling vulnerable, so we should make sure that the letter puts her first. It's hard when you're feeling hurt, but it never helps to just tell someone all the things that they're doing wrong. I think first you have to make sure that they know you're ready to respect them and listen to them, and admit the things that you feel you could do better. Then finally, you ask what you would like in return. How does that sound for the structure? It could be 3 paragraphs, one for each of those points. I like that. My thoughts were so disorganized, I had no idea how to come up with any kind of structure. You're so amazing at these things. Oh, stop. You've done so much more than I have, you know. You spent so much time reflecting and being open-minded. That's the hardest thing for anyone to do. All I'm doing is helping you put it on a piece of paper. So I think you're the amazing one. Monica gives Yuri's hand a quick squeeze. But as she lets go, she's caught by surprise when Yuri curls her fingers to hook Monica's hand in place. For a while they sit like that in silence, save for the occasional scratching of Yuri's pen against the paper. Yesterday, you told me something that I'm thinking about a lot. What was that? The thing about how feelings aren't right or wrong, and that they're just a state of being we need to come to terms with. It made me think about how a person's behavior isn't always just how they decide to be. It's also made up of their past experiences and their insecurities. I think that helps me see other people as actual people, rather than as insignificant side characters who are out to get me somehow. Is that how you felt about Natsuki? Yuri nods. But in reality, everyone is always trying their best, and everyone wants to be happy. Monica peers over at Yuri's paper, but to her surprise, Yuri pulls it in closer, partially covering it with her arm. Ah, I have to be able to read it to help you out, you know. It's okay. My thoughts are a lot more organized now after being able to talk to you about it. Now that I'm actually putting it on paper, I realize I'd really prefer others not to read it. Yuri laughs softly to herself, a rare expression. Yeah, I'm kind of glad to hear that, actually. I somehow keep finding ways to butt into this whole thing. I've done enough damage. But it's also been so wonderful talking about this. I mean, I always thought you were really smart, but... Yuri smiles. I will always be terrible at these things. People are just so incomprehensible to me. I'll never get the hang of being one. Oh, Yuri. But listening to you so much has really helped me make sense of some things. So just don't call it damage, please. Monica gives Yuri a gentle smile. I can't believe I came to this club looking for fantasy geeks and all I got was real friends who value me. Is that a joke? Of course it is. Ha ha ha, I still can't tell with you. Sorry. No, I love it. Please never change. As you wish. As you wish. Okay, now it's coming back to Star Wars. That's interesting. Yuri glances at the clock. We're almost out of time. Will you be able to finish? Before the end of the day, probably. But I don't want to come to the club the same day that Natsuki reads it. I'm too shy. I can give it to her instead if you'd like. Yuri nods. As long as you promise not to read it. Of course, I promise. Thank you. Yuri exhales and the two stand up. Monica, read it. She's gonna read it. I'll message you when it's ready. No, she's not gonna read it. Monica nods. Did she say she'll message her? Oh, uh-oh. Oh, you can do that? Oh, I forgot you could do that. Huh. I'll message you when it's ready. They message each other. Good luck. I'm here if you need me. Yuri returns a nod and the two depart. Oh, I was into that one. Picture is Yuri. There she is. That was reflection 2. So there's only 2 parts left. Okay. Well, I've been streaming for 2 hours. It's probably best if I cut it here. One, because I've been yawning like every few minutes. And two, for the sake of the YouTube video. So I think I'm going to stop here. Keep this just over 2 hours. These are so good, man. I really, the original game, you get so invested into the characters, and there's so many horrible, terrifying things that happen later on in the game. If you've watched my other parts of the playthrough, obviously, or if you've seen the game before, you'd know. But it's so interesting to see the before, like they're actually friends, and they're not. The story isn't just they're competing for your character, and they're doing all kinds of crazy things to have that happen. Yeah. And these are just it's what I would want from, like, if they ever made a sequel, you know what I mean? Like the first game was so wild with the files and Monica being self-aware, but I really like the characters and the development and story. It's all interesting. And they're all besties. Alright. Yeah, I think that'll do it for me for tonight. Thanks everybody for hanging out. Shadow, I think you might be the only one that's still here and awake, so I'm sure we'll play again tomorrow, and maybe get some Madden in tomorrow too, but I'm tired again, man. I'm very tired. I don't know if you can tell by my yawning every few minutes, but I've just been very tired this week. So I'm gonna go and probably go to bed and go to sleep, and then wake up at like 7 a.m. and still be tired. So that's cool. I also didn't charge my phone. My phone is at 22%. I'm gonna have to charge my phone overnight, I think. Which I don't love doing, but it is what it is. Alright. This was good. We got one more side story left, and then we'll be done with Doki Doki. Oh, you know what? Before I go, actually, where do I check? 84% data collection. Let's go. We're getting close. We're getting very close to 100%. Alright. GG's. Once again, another fun exploration into the world of Doki Doki Literature Club. Maybe one day we'll have even more side stories, or a whole new story. Who could know? Me, because I'm going to write a letter to Dan Salvato, my own letter to Dan Salvato this time, and I'm going to ask him personally, because we here in the Amigo community, we do two things. A, as we established earlier, we respect women, and B, we are hard-hitting journalists, which we are also talked about earlier. These are the two core factors of what we do here. So, on that note, be sure to drop a like and subscribe to the video. And click my Twitch link and drop a follow there too, why don't you? Alright, goodbye. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for saying these things. Goodbye. So long. Please like. Please. JK, unless. No, I'm kidding. Okay, good night. I'm gonna go sleep now. Goodbye, Shadow. Thanks for thanks for staying for so long. And if you watch this on YouTube, appreciate you. See you in the next one.